This episode is brought to you by Spas and More. I just believe in the power of healing and restoration. And I know that if we can just come together and speak about the hard things, we can finally begin to heal. So, this is where we heal. Well, welcome to another episode of This Is Where We Heal. Today I have Sisi Surgant, right? Surgant?
Surgant.
But
Surgant sounds great.
Western
I'll
thing.
think about that.
Surgant. We have Sisi Surgant today. And I actually met her through a really cool group here in St. Louis called Hot Girls Build.
Yeah.
And she is just a powerhouse of a woman. She is into fashion and telling her story. And she is actually an author as well. She just recently published her book, Burn Beautiful, which we're going to talk about today. And we're going to talk about the story behind the book and who she is as a person. But I am so excited to have you today. Thank you for coming on This Is Where We Heal.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
Good. And I know that like you have done other podcasts before, but I think your story is super powerful. And I think a lot of the women that watch the show will be super inspired by it. I think what's really cool and unique about your story is the story of the burns that you were inflicted. And yet you still went into fashion and you are still doing what you do now. You're still an author. You're still, putting yourself out into the world. You're into fitness. I know you do that. You have like a fitness line and everything. And it's really beautiful because even just as a woman, just being a woman in general in this day and age, we all come with so many insecurities, that are just already there.
Yeah. That's already a topic by itself.
Yes.
Yes.
But after everything you have been through, the fact that you've held true to who you are and your power, and you've made it for something good is really, really, really beautiful.
Thank you so much for saying this.
Yeah.
It's always touching and always nice to hear, kind to hear.
Yeah. I know when you look at yourself, you probably think, oh, I just do it. I just did it. It is what it is.
Exactly. You just do it. And then, you also think like, am I doing not enough? Am I doing too much? You hear all people talking, a million opinions about you. And then you're like, oh my gosh, but I think you always have to find your center and core values and center in them.
Yeah, that exactly.
Yeah.
So I want to know your story. I want people to hear your story, like what your book's about, but just you in general. What molded you into who you are today? And what inspired the book?
Oh my goodness. So which one should I start with? I start with what inspired the book because that's easier, faster. So I am a stylist and I was thinking, let's have a styling guide.
Yeah.
Let's have something like where really girls can just throw in their pocket, like a small, cute, nice 70-page styling guide, tips and tricks. And that's how it started. And then I had a good friend. I was chatting with her about it. And she was like, Sisi, I don't know. She was like kind of like, blah, 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 blah. I think you should write your story. And people follow you because of this. People love talking about it. Maybe you should share your story. And I was like, I don't know. I would always wanted to, but I felt like, someday when I'm, how should I say, when I'm have enough credibility or, how you think like, someday.
You think you have to be a certain person before you can.
Exactly. Yeah. Everybody thinks like, now she should, like, who am I to write my story? That's how I felt. And she's like, no, you should. And I was like, you know what? I will do it. Even if I don't publish it, I will have it for my kids.
Yeah.
And everything is in my book then. And I still wanted to give something back. So that's why I was deciding to write my story, but still tie it to a guide. So it's not just a story. Like every chapter ends with a reflect ritual where you actually, it guides you through it and you can kind of reflect and heal. Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah. No kidding.
And then that was a great compromise in my head because I'm also a bit OCD. I was thinking, my story, my gosh, every single part, like, did I miss this? Did I miss that? But that gave me a little bit of relief just to pick really impactful stories of my life. Not every single one. There's still more. I can write second one.
Right. No. Well, hey, maybe you will.
Yeah, maybe I will. I'll keep.
I hope you do. I hope you do.
You're so sweet.
So you were an immigrant as a child as well.
Yes.
So that's like where kind of the story starts, right?
Yeah. So go back in time.
Yeah.
I was born and raised in Germany.
Wow.
Yes. To Moroccan and Tunisian parents. So my mom is Moroccan. My dad is Tunisian.
Oh.
Yes, so North Africa, Mediterranean, Arabic, all the mixes.
Yeah.
And my mom is a tailor, actually. And I feel like this is where I have it from, the fashion, the obsession with it since a child. Yeah. So when I was a year old, like just a little bit over a year, we went to a friend's house. Like my parents went to a friend's house, and it was a very rainy day. And that's where my burn accident actually happened. Yeah. So I was still so young. My siblings were there, and I was sitting next to my mom on like next to a chair, like a kid's chair. And she was watching me and watching all of us. And then for one split second, she looked over there that way, and the lady came out of the kitchen, and she was carrying hot tea, hot Moroccan tea. And just a thing to know, especially back in the days where sugar was still okay.
Yeah.
I just always laugh about it. Like Moroccan tea has a lot of sugar in it. It's to make it sweet with the mint. And she dropped the hot tea with sugar on me. And yeah, I know. Just now thinking about it as myself, as a mom, I'm like, how did she, I don't know if I would ever survive this, really, if something like this.
Oh my God. Your poor mother too.
Yes. Everyone, like I talk about it in the book, but then that's a split second it happened. A helicopter came. They brought me to a hospital, and then they had to move me to another hospital because it was so serious. Yeah. And then I was like 6 weeks or more in the ICU.
Oh my God.
And they were sure she's not going to survive this. You just get ready, prepare yourself. And I had to relearn how to walk, how to eat. Oh yeah, I just started walking, but then I had to relearn everything, how to eat. They were feeding me with this little Q-tips. They're like juicy or so. Yeah, it's horrible, like all this stuff. And I was a very, very fat baby.
Oh.
And my mom had to struggle with this because all the doctors kept telling me, oh my gosh, you have to put your baby on a diet. I still now, when I go back to Germany, see these little books where the doctor recommendation, diet. I'm like, oh my gosh, leave this baby alone. But luckily, that's what the doctor said. He said that saved my life, like that I was such a fat baby. Like my organs, it didn't get all the way to my organs. It's still 3rd degree. But it's still, you know, it saved me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's not funny, but
I know
it's
it's funny. It is kind of. It's ironic. It's like, you know, you always have to find the fun in any sad thing. So it's kind of funny.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe that.
I know.
So you were literally like a baby when this happened.
Yeah.
So how did that affect you then? Because if they thought you weren't going to make it, like, obviously you did, right? And you healed. Yeah, exactly, girl. and you healed from that. But I have to imagine, like, as just a little girl growing up, you probably felt so different. Like,
yeah.
And those wounds that you would have had from the internal wounds from that.
Yeah. There's the internal scars, which I also talk about. It's not always just about the obvious because I have scars and I mean, back then it was almost probably almost my whole body because like as a little baby.
Yeah, because you were little.
Yeah, now it's a little bit stretched out. It's like in the inside of my legs, my tummy, here a little bit. You can see it here. It's like on different places, but on my legs it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Especially the inside. And I think I had so many struggles. I don't even know where to start. Like, let's start with that bad thing that happened to me pretty much in the beginning of my life. And then also being an immigrant child in Germany back in the 80s, 90s. That's where I was born.
Yeah, so it was very different.
Yeah, it was very different, not as diverse as it is now. Having a different skin color, having different hair, different accent. My parents didn't speak like perfectly German.
Yeah.
They could not help me a lot in school, unfortunately. Just math, of course. But everything else was. And then also on top of all of this, that would be all challenges. Then also having like scars and feeling bad for it. And you know how kids are. Mom, what's that on her leg? Or, yuck, what is this? Don't touch her. Or all... You know, you would hear a lot.
Oh.
But one thing, I always was into fashion, maybe because of my mom.
Yeah.
And I've never let anyone take this for me. And actually, to be honest, just now I'm sitting here with you. I just like feel it very, I don't know why it just came make me emotional because you're so sweet. I don't know why. It's just like the one thing that I didn't let anyone take from me, and I was still wearing what I want to wear. Like I was not really. See, it's like tricky because I was obviously not hiding it. I was still wearing shorts or when it's swimming. I love swimming.
Yeah.
I just always loved swimming. But I was twisting a lot. I was twisting my leg. I was trying to make sure nobody sees it. I was like, had like weird like positioning.
You still wanted to be a kid.
Yes.
You still wanted to be normal.
Yeah.
You still wanted to wear fun things and do fun things, but there was a part of you that still felt like you had to hide it a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. I was probably just a little bit too stubborn. Delusional, probably like, no, this is not who I am. I don't let this just, define me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you, as a child, obviously, that's really hard because you want to fit in. Yeah. You're still trying to figure out where you belong, who you are, how you are supposed to show up in the world. And you're in a different country, and you're not the same as all the other kids, right?
Yeah.
So did you struggle then to like find like your place like with people?
Yeah. So when I started school, actually, I was super excited. I was like, because kindergarten was hell. It was like this little, I don't know if I can say it, bastard. Maybe you have to peep it out.
I think there's always at least one in every kindergarten class.
Exactly. He was bullying me and calling me chocolate and all this stuff. Yeah. And as a child, this is an insult. Like now you would be like, oh.
You're like, yes,
nothing better than chocolate.
Yeah.
Right? But like all those stupid things. So that was hard, and I didn't speak the language. And now it's like thinking of it, it's like ridiculous.
Yeah.
How did they even let me in kindergarten? And then first grade comes along, and I'm like, everything is gonna be good, and everything is gonna be better. And I had a neighbor, my best friend, for years. Like we made it very long. So we were always together. So I was very excited. And finally we get together in one class. But then I went to school and I didn't know any words. Like I think I knew 5 words or so. Like yes, no, and wie geht's? Like how are you? Or like little things. And nothing changed. Like things actually got worse. Was the outsider, different looking. We had a few kids who were also different, but it was not like super normal.
Right.
Like my neighbor was also not German, but it was just different. And then I had like this stupid teacher who was like in 6th grade. I didn't speak really the language, so I didn't really understand what she wants from me. And you have to like understand, I was trying, I really wanted to be a great student and I wanted to learn. I was always, I think that way. I always wanted to learn. But I couldn't because I didn't know what she's saying to me.
Right.
So every single day she keeps telling me blah, blah, blah. In my head, it's like blah, 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 blah. And I'm super shy. Like could not find a shyer kid than me because of the language. I feel I was handicapped, right? So I didn't talk. I was like, yeah. Every day she yells at me. Yeah, because I think she wanted me to write something clear and clean. Like I had a lot of mistakes and she wanted me to do it and I didn't know what she wants. So every day I got in trouble. And then this one day she said, everyone has to be quiet, do your stuff. And everyone was quiet. And I had a question, so I raised my hand. And she walks over and she slaps me in my face. I know, like you have no, like so hard that I really felt like I had my head on the bench the rest of the day. And I really thought like I have a blue eye or like, and I really think it affected me so deep that it crushed my soul. Like not that I'm just different, not that I don't speak language, not that I have scars. Now I'll also get humiliated and in so much pain as 6-year-old that I don't know. I
can't even. I
know. And I didn't tell my parents. And this is probably my biggest regret. Because my mom would have like.
Right. No, that's the fear.
Because I thought she was right. Because that's what I deserve. Kind of, yeah.
I'm so sorry that happened to you.
I'm too for little Sisi.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it really hurts.
I think about that stuff too a lot. I also got bullied pretty bad too, and for different reasons. But
why? How can you be bullied, miss?
Well, I had a lazy eye when I was little, and I got fever blisters really bad.
Oh.
And I had head lice through almost my entire childhood. Like it was just, if I would get rid of it, it would come back because I had like, it was just like, we didn't have a whole lot of money. And so the kids that I hung out with were also just kind of, in the same bracket as that. And so we just would give it back and forth to each other. But I got teased a lot for that. And I got, when you get sent home in front of the whole class because you have head lice. And so everybody knows you have it. And it's like that would happen every time.
Yeah.
So I had kids that would call me pond scum and things like that. And so I relate to that a lot, even though it's different,
it's still the same.
But when you're little,
for kids, it is the same. It doesn't really.
Yeah, it's so traumatizing.
Yeah.
Just feeling so different and like no one
and humiliated.
All of
it. Especially you don't even know that you are him. It's just a feeling. It's just such a natural human feeling that you feel, and that's why I don't even think there's like a big difference. Oh, she has it worse, or she. As a child, you're like so raw in this world.
If it hurts, it hurts.
Yes.
And if you feel like an outcast, you feel like an outcast. But I relate to that so much. And I think that as hard as that was for me as a little girl, and I'm sure for you, I look back on it now, but I do believe that it is what's given me the heart that I have now. I think there's a level of compassion that you end up with as an adult and a parent even.
Exactly.
That you wouldn't have otherwise if you didn't know what that was like,
And that's kind of scary because looking back, I'm happy and I'm glad that I went through all of this because it made me who I am. It made me very resilient and I think quick and I like all of those good things, right? And then now I have my own kids.
Yeah.
And I don't want anything to happen to them. I want to protect them from anything.
Yes.
But at the same time, I wish and hope for them that they have this resilience someday, that I'm like, oh, she's going to be fine. But how do you do it as a mom? Right. I'm not going to put my kids in a situation like this. It's really tough battle the whole time to find a good balance, to trust enough and let them do enough, but still,
it is so protecting. Hard as a parent. It is so hard, and you like your heart. You have like such a bleeding heart. But I do think and I don't know if you can relate to this. I always say I wouldn't do it again, but I'm glad it happened.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes.
I wouldn't want to do it again
unless I go back in time with my head now, and I might do it again. I will
if I could go back like this.
Yes, exactly. Or even like just the head, like the mind, like the grown-up mind. Then I would stand up for myself. I would make everyone look bad.
Yes.
Like, how dare you telling me?
Yes, exactly.
Yes, yeah.
But at what point did you guys move? How long were you in Germany?
So I was born and raised in Germany the whole time.
Oh.
And I grew up there and I worked myself up there and didn't have a good school education. Germany, totally different again. You got to read the book. It's more explained, but it's not like here you go to school and you just finish and then you go to university if you want. In Germany, you get like sorted out when you are in after fourth grade. Then you kind of either they send you to gymnasium, which is like the highest kind of school, the school that you will end up going to university after.
Oh.
Or you get sorted out and you are going to the lowest kind of school, and that's where you kind of stay. You still have chances to get out of it, but mostly not. And then you finish, and then you find a job kind of.
That's
situation.
So weird.
Yes, after fourth grade. And
what?
Yeah, and guess where I landed?
Hauptschule. But little did they know.
Yeah, little did they know. Yes. And then I carried that the whole time because I told you I loved learn. Like I wanted to learn. I didn't know how to learn or how to study, but I just loved it. And way later, I became a makeup artist.
Oh.
And hairdresser and all this stuff.
I feel like we've lived the same life. I'm just
Holy guacamole.
I'm sitting here listening to you.
That's why we bonded maybe
I didn't do well in school, but for me it was because I had undiagnosed ADHD. I didn't know that. So I couldn't learn very well. And so I just thought I was stupid. I always thought I was dumb. Like that I just wasn't a smart girl and that I just had to accept that.
Yeah.
And
exactly the same way.
So I didn't even try to go to college because I was like, oh, I won't do well, And I ended up becoming a cosmetologist and I was a makeup artist for a really long time.
Gosh.
So it's just so funny, like
how
the parallels.
How is this possible? Yes. It's so good to talk about it.
I know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you became a makeup artist, but you were also into fashion. So
I was always into fashion. I started becoming a makeup artist and I became a makeup artist for YSL, Yves Saint Laurent. And I
Oh.
traveled a lot. So I felt like it kind of combined my love for fashion and makeup and all things beauty and stuff.
Mhm.
So I did this and I was very successful actually. And then after that, people always thought like I'm better than I am. And like you said, I always thought like, oh, someday they will find out I'm dumb,
Yes,
I'm
yes.
stupid, I'm
Yeah.
not smart. And then I got a great job opportunity to stop traveling because I didn't like it back then. And manage a store, like in a very beautiful Swedish designer store. And that's when I got also more into the actual fashion. And I did that, and that was fun, a lot of fun. And I had a great boss who said, whoever works for me has to educate themselves if they want. Like you can choose, I pay. So I was like, maybe I should do it. And then I started like slowly but surely educating and getting higher up and higher. And then I went back to school and I got all of my degrees. And in Germany, again, it's not like one exam. You literally have to go back in the classroom.
Wow.
Yes. So I did all of the steps and I went back to university and I got my degree. And I was like, what? I'm not stupid. I have it finally on paper. I know, as if you need it, right?
Yeah.
But it was kind of a very nice feeling. And then I don't know if I should go where I am now, because that's kind of where my personal hero's journey, I call it, my personal one, happened. It was like towards the very end of my semester. I didn't have that much longer. And I was in a very, very bad relationship, like very toxic, very like narcissist handbook. And I know it's the word of the year. Like,
yeah, but
they all get
real.
out. Yeah, they are real. But he was unbelievable, like charming, beautiful, like everyone, so handsome. Took advantage of, I always wanted to get married and have kids. And he knew that. My prior relationship was an amazing one, but he didn't want to get married. He didn't want to have kids. He did at the end propose, but I think he proposed because he loved me so much and he wanted to keep me. But that's not how I saw my future. Like, I forced him to marry me.
Yeah.
So I didn't want that. And then this new guy came along. He heard of it and he was like perfect. And then he proposed after 3 months. And, he did all the right things. And and I stupidly said yes. And then the horror started. He was just horrible. And I don't know, I started gaining weight. I was unhappy, no more friends, or like I didn't hang out with them anymore. And I knew, but I don't know if you know that feeling. I'm telling you, listen good. Do you know that feeling? And that's how I felt in that relationship. I knew he's manipulating me. I knew, because I'm not dumb. I knew all of it, but I, first of all, I was like, I'll probably break up anyways. I just want to, hang out a little bit. And then after a little bit, I knew it, but I just was too lazy. I think not lazy, but I think I was depressed. I feel like I was still depressed of grieving my first relationship. And I just couldn't get out. And I didn't have the energy. I was more like, I will break up eventually, but not today. School, not today. I'm tired. I'm hungry.
There's always a reason.
Always a reason. And I just couldn't get out. And one day I told my sister, I was like, I don't know. I can't get out. And I stayed. And then I had like this chance at school. I was still studying. And I always wanted to have a study abroad, especially in America. And then this opportunity came up for me to go to Australia. Believe it or not, I said no, because I wanted New York. And I was so stubborn. I was like, no, if it's not, the lady is like, hey, how about Australia? I'm like, no, if it's not New York, bye, bomb. So silly.
Well, it's okay. It led you where you are, but either way.
No, and then I am laying on this beach with this narcissist, and I'm like thinking to myself, again, we get in this passive aggressive, like especially his passive aggressiveness. And I'm like, always. And I'm like thinking to myself, am I stupid? Did I just say no to Australia and stay with this dude? I was like, no, I called her like right, we went back. I called her, I was like, sign me up. She was like, what city? Did you do your research? I'm like, Sydney, because that was the only thing like that popped in my head. Australia, Sydney. I'm like, sign me up. I don't care. And she did. And I packed my bags. I ran away which I usually never recommend anyone. Like, don't run away from your problems, right?
But unless they're a narcissist, and then absolutely run away.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes you have to run away. You have to get away from that situation just to clear your mind and like not be the whole time manipulated.
Yeah.
And
because it's a fog. When you're in that kind of a relationship,
and
you're in like a literal fog.
And you go crazy.
You do.
Because he makes you think. I was thinking like maybe he's right. Maybe I'm the problem.
Yeah, it's called cognitive dissonance. And what happens is that you know the truth.
Yes.
But for some reason, there's a part of you that still doesn't quite believe it. Yeah. And they call it cognitive dissonance, where two things can be true at the same time. Like you believe them, but you also know, like it's a weird thing.
It is crazy.
Yeah. And it's addictive.
Oh my God.
Because narcissistic people do call it intermittent reinforcement. So they'll give you just enough to feel good, and then they like to pull the rug out from underneath you.
Exactly.
But they keep coming, but then they'll do something good again, and so you think, oh, maybe they're not so bad, or maybe he didn't lie, or maybe it is me, or you're always confused. It's just like a state of confusion for like the whole time you're together.
Yeah, the whole time.
Let's take a quick break for me to tell you about Simply Wurth It, a clinic of trusted nurse practitioners who are focused on personal weight management, optimizing your health, and working with what your body needs to build confidence through safe and effective medical solutions. Simply Wurth It is different than all the rest because they only hire nurse practitioners, not just medical assistants or nurses. With these skilled practitioners, they are able to provide a safer, more specialized service to get you to your specific goals. They have 3 locations that are going to serve you in Wentzville, St. Peters, and South County. Visit simplyworthit.com. That's Simply Wurth It, WURTH.com, to set up your new patient consultation today. So you went to Sydney. Bravo, first of all.
Thank you. Bravo for standing up for myself, really.
Seriously.
So I went. He was, of course, not happy about it. I was like, no. Yeah. I'm like, you see me again. Oh, it's good. Little did he know, right? You'll never see me again. So I went to Sydney. I struggled like for 2 weeks. Like I had like a good friend there, poor girl. Like every day, she's like, Sisi, you gotta break up. You have to break up. He's not a good person. We're like, and then one day I was like laying with her. We went to Melbourne, and we were laying in this hotel room, and it overcame me like almost like the Holy Ghost or like whatever you call it, whatever it is. Like
divine intervention.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I heard like this voice, like my own voice that I felt like I haven't heard in a very long time. And it popped in my head and it said to me, Sisi, either he's right and you stay with him, but you have 100% guarantee that you're never going to be happy again. And I believed. I was like, maybe this is how it is when you grow up. Like you get older. I saw a lot of grown-ups who were not happy.
Exactly.
Especially back then. It's just life, right?
Yeah.
You get married, you're not happy, you're like, have kids, everything's, Either you stay like this, or maybe you break up. But and maybe you will never find love again, and you will never get happy. But if there's 1% chance you find love, or even if it's not love, just your happiness, you find your happiness. I was like, fuck.
Yeah,
I'm gonna bet on myself. I take that 1% over 100% of misery for my whole life. So I picked up the phone, old school way.
That is so.
I texted him. It's done. I know.
That makes me feel so good. I love it.
I'm so happy I did, because
imagine what your life would have been like if you not made that choice.
Not here, because after that I went backpack. I lived. I did so many things. I traveled. I learned how to surf, how to skateboard, handstand. I always have like this feeling inside me. I want to do a handstand. I don't know why, because I was never a gymnast. I wanted to, but I learned it. I learned so many things, Frenches, lost all the weight, both weights.
Of course you did.
I felt just amazing. And then I went backpacking and met my sister. And then in Thailand, I crossed paths. I met my husband.
Thailand?
In Thailand, yes. After that, like being so brave and doing this, I met him backpacking in Thailand. And he's the reason I'm in St. Louis, by the way. Yeah.
Tell me more. I need to know this story.
If I talk to him.
I want to hear this story because I know that you're super happy. Like you have a very happy marriage. You really love your husband. Like you've talked about that before. Just like he's the love of your life, and like you have 2 beautiful children, and like you just and you've been together how long now?
Almost 10 years.
Yeah, you've been together 10 years and you still feel this way. So that, I want to know everything because I think, first of all, every girl listening to this just wants that hope that like, I can find that person.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because if you trust your gut, you find him. You find him. Oh my, sometimes in Thailand.
You're right. On a backpacking trip in Thailand in a different country. You just never know.
You never know. That's why you say yes to things, be open. Like when your heart is happy about it, just do it.
Oh, I love it. Okay, so tell me about the story when you met.
So I went backpacking. Finally met my sister, which is my bestie too. And we were walking in Thailand. It's like Party Island. And I talked to her and she actually was hurt. So we had to find a pharmacy. Mm-hmm. And the same pharmacy that she was last night because she got stitches and we had to go back to them. We couldn't remember because maybe or maybe not if my parents watched. Okay, there was maybe some alcohol involved. Parents don't watch. But so we're searching for this and we were talking in this heated blah, 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 blah. And I look over and I'm like, oh my gosh, look at everything. Did you see this guy? And I'm like, go ask him because he was like sitting there so cool in front of this bar. And he was like bouncing like a bouncer.
Oh, yeah.
But also selling boat tickets.
Oh.
He's so crazy. Like, he's like always in the hustle, always making some money to keep traveling. And then I'm like, you have to ask him because he looks like he works here. He probably knows.
Yeah.
So we go and we talk to him and he is very, I thought arrogant. He's shy. You know, he's like more like shy, but I thought like, And then at some point, like, excuse me, but he looks like a Greek god.
Yeah, he's a beautiful man. I've
really,
seen the pictures of you two together. You're a very, very handsome couple.
Yeah, he especially.
Oh no, you're both beautiful.
So he's like doing something like that with his hands. And I'm like, is he rolling a joint here in Thailand? And then I look over and then I see him peeling an egg. And he looks at me and he gets super embarrassed. And he grabs the egg and he looks at me and he takes it and he shoves it all in his mouth. And he says like, I'm hungry. And like, I don't know. Exactly.
That's so sexy.
Like, yeah. But it was just so sweet. I'm like, I don't know. Something about him I really love. Like, I think maybe this rawness. I still
just
do it.
Authenticity,
I see exactly how embarrassed, like bad. I just keep going all like he didn't even stop it. And then after a while, we just left. And I was kind of hiding all night because I'd have met another guy there too. So, so I was like, oh, he cannot see me. And he was actually searching for me. He wanted to see me again. And I was like, why is he all like everywhere? And I'm like hiding. I wish I had known. And then the next morning, we were sitting there and he walks by, like a coincidence. And he sees me and he says hi. And I say hi. I'm like, oh. And then he comes back and he sits next to me and we exchanged Facebook. And I left that island because we did like island hopping. And I was texting with him a lot. And then at some point he quit his job there and he chased me to this other island.
Oh my God.
It was like really like a dream come true to live like through this, like this freeness, like this freedom that you, like the feeling, I know, freeness. Sisi is making up words again.
We like it.
Whatever. You know what I mean. Exactly.
Too,
exactly. Sisi always makes up words.
I like it.
Oh, thank you. It was just amazing. Like, I cannot even explain to you going through a relationship like this, being single for a while, finding yourself, and then finding that person, which I didn't know he is it, because I was like, right. I will never move to America.
Yeah.
Even if I manifested it because I was a big America fan. I always wished I grew up in America, but I didn't. But I was like, I'm such a family person. I would never leave my siblings, my parents, my nephew. Never ever am I gonna leave Germany. And finally, I have my education now, and I'm so rooted in Germany, and I will become like the parent that I want my kids to have, like the one that is always in school and knows everything and can help you with homeworks. I know the language perfectly. I know the rule, everything.
Yeah, you have it all mapped out for yourself.
So hard for it to be that perfect German citizen. I worked so hard. That's what I wanted, like the perfectionism. And then I meet him and I have like this free spirit life, and we like rented a motorcycle, and he's like this Greek goddess, like this bodybuilder, and I'm in the back and my hair. And I remember all girls are like, I'm like, I know.
Like,
yeah, of course. And
just living my dream.
Exactly. And like, it was just a dream come true. Like first date with a fire show at the beach, like little things like this. And I'm like, and I went back, said goodbye, went back to Germany. And then we met again after a month in Vietnam.
Oh.
Yeah. So we did like from north to south, like a whole month at Vietnam backpacking together, which I highly recommend to everyone. If you find someone, go on a trip. Go on a trip, very close, just the two of you. You really get to know someone, like to the core.
Yeah.
And we did. We fought, we laughed, we had all of it, but it just got better. And then I went back to Germany again thinking, I have to break up. I cannot do this. I cannot. No, I'm getting too deep. This guy is perfect. Again, he says to me, oh, I come visit you in Munich.
No.
Yeah.
Yes, but no.
Yeah, yes, but no. And then he comes and then he gets to know my friends and my mom and everyone loves him. Everyone against him first. And then everyone gets to know him. Everyone, oh God, he's so amazing. I'm like, no, you're supposed to say the next.
I want you should not like him. Make this easy for me.
Yeah. And he never stopped calling. He never stopped texting, like every day. And then at some point I came to visit for a long, no. I was like at home. And he called me and he said, hey, do you want to go on a Valentine's date? And I'm like, oh, how cute. He means like a, FaceTime. Yeah. He probably wants to do something. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And he's like, great, because I just booked you your ticket to come visit. And I'm like, oh. And I knew his parents, nobody liked me. Like everyone was against us. This was like a Romeo and Juliet situation. My parents like, you have to break up because you're like, you're not gonna move. His parents are like, no, this girl is gonna make you move. This girl is Arabic, like all million things like that you can even imagine. And then I was so scared. And I was like, okay, but just a week. I'm not coming longer because safe is safe. So I came. I got to know everyone. I loved everyone. He got even better. Like he showed me like textbook. Like gentleman textbook, like whatever a guy can do for a woman, like everything. And I'm like, oh my gosh, now I'm even deeper into this. And now I also like his parents and his sister. I went back again to Germany. We said, you know what? I'm going to be done with school and I come for 3 months and we check it out. We did. We went back and forth. And then at some point I came and he proposed and I stayed. But 2 kids later, here we are. The show, like,
and the whole time you're like, no, this isn't gonna happen.
Yeah, not gonna happen.
This isn't gonna work. This is not it.
Like, but I couldn't lie anymore to myself. He was more important to me than anything else. I'm like, I guess I'm gonna stay here now because he just got like this great job. I just finished school, so I could start over.
And you just knew at that point, you're like, why am I fighting this?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what else am I looking for?
Yes, and I'm like so glad I did this. I really am glad that there was something about me always that I, at the end of the day, always trusted my gut and I always knew what's right for me, even if people said a million things. Even if you know me very well, I'm like, oh, I don't know. Undecisive. Yeah. But I do know what I want. Yeah. I think in my gut, I always know. Yeah. And I'm glad I did.
Oh. It's so sweet.
I know. Sorry. I'm like,
so you moved to America.
Yes.
And you guys started a life together.
Mm-hmm.
And then you continue to pursue fashion.
I never did.
You didn't?
I don't have a fashion degree. I mean, I have a
But you have a clothing line.
I do. I never thought I would make fashion my business. Like never. I just so that I finished the university, like business law, even and human resource and all this stuff. But I never thought of it. And I was here and I was a mom already and I had my second child. And I loved it. I was a stay-at-home mom and everything was great. Loved my babies. But there was like always this thing that every time I came back from Germany, from traveling, people were like, where did you get those pants? Where did you get these shoes? Where did you get this? And I'm like, oh, I think St. Louis they do like actually European fashion. Yeah. And I would love to do something like that. So I was like, oh, let's start a business, online business, and just shop European pieces, not like, just shop them and go to a market and get the stuff and from venues. And that's how it started.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yes. And that's all how it started.
And you still have that?
I still kind of have it.
What is it called?
The online shop is called Shop Siham.
Okay.
And that's how I got my foot in it. I thought like, that's what I'm going to do. Again, like reality check, you go online. I talked about it. I was so hyped. You think like, this is the day we're going to launch and I'm going to be sold out. Beginners say, like, mistakes, and nothing happened forever. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm such a failure, and like, all of this. And I started networking after that. And I was like, okay, if nobody comes to me, obviously, like nobody knows this website, I should go in front of people. And this is how I started, like, getting a little bit the ball going. And then I wanted, again, to connect it to a bigger purpose.
Yeah.
Because my parents always taught us, give back, give back. Mm-hmm. And then I connected the business to Burns Recovered, which is a nonprofit burn organization for kids with scars.
Oh.
Yes. And that's when it slowly started to feeling more like me. And I which we still do, like when you purchase something from my shop, even if it's my coaching or even if it's the sports line, a part of it will be donated to those kids so they can go to burn camp, which is so much fun.
I love that so much.
I know, because I didn't have that.
Right? No, exactly.
Yeah, I didn't have this burn community, which I love that they have this.
And that's the beauty of things like that happen, is that I really believe that the difficult things that we go through, those are what become our purpose.
Yeah.
You didn't have that. Yeah. And so now you can give back to something that gives that for other kids. Absolutely. And if you hadn't been through that, you would have never had the heart for it.
No. No, I would think like, I want to help someone. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that really, it's just amazing. Like I went to the burn camp this summer, like a few weeks ago, and my mind was blown. I was like, wow, I got so emotional about it. I was so happy and so sad at the same time. Like I never have this. I felt always like an alien in my own skin. Yeah. I didn't know one burn survivor growing up. Like nobody, no one. I didn't even know there's something like that.
Oh.
I always dreamed of getting surgery. My poor parents, they always like went with me, like every time I heard something, oh, there's a new laser thing. We went to the hospital. I was always like little Sisi, was so excited. I'm like, oh, today is the day. I'm going to get rid of it. Especially now, even if it would never be like flawless, right? Yeah. But I thought so. I thought like I'm getting a new skin. Yeah. Like everything will be gone. And then every time, oh no, unfortunately, it's not for you because you're too dark. It would look, because like the laser, it would look worse than it does now. And then I always went home hating my skin even more. Like, why do I have to be so dark? All of those things. And then seeing this, like a few weeks ago, those kids being with each other, like a moment for them where they couldn't care less of how they look. It's just powerful.
Yeah, because they felt like they belonged.
Yeah.
They weren't
and nobody
alone.
stares because everybody knows, even myself. Me thinking I'm so confident over here, I was wearing shorts and I felt like this, this feeling of, oh my gosh, everybody knows. I don't even have to tell a story. Everyone has the same thing. Like they look alike, kind of. The scars look alike. And it's like my people, kind of a family outside a family.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's powerful.
It's so beautiful. I love that. How can people give back to that? Is there a place?
So when I had my book launch, I made a little donation thing. Like people bought the book and everything like that they wanted to donate. Mm-hmm. They can always donate through me, and I will give this to them, or they can just go on their website. It's Burns Recovered Midwest.
Okay.
And then you can just donate. You can do whatever you want. They have, I think, also a girls' night trivia or so soon, which apparently is really fun. You can win something really big. But everything goes back to that one camp that those kids can go every summer and enjoy themselves. And they don't have to, because some kids maybe cannot afford it also.
That's true.
And so really it's safe that those kids have their summer.
Oh, I love that
it's so
much.
Cool.
And just so it's so crazy how much your story has evolved, and that you're here now you're a coach. Mm-hmm. You coach women.
Yeah.
And you are an author.
Yes.
And you have your own clothing line, and you're a mother and a wife, and you've met the love of your life, and it's just all worked out so beautifully.
Yeah, I know.
And I have to imagine that when you were, 6-year-old Sisi, you would have never imagined that your life would turn out like this, right?
No.
And if you could go back to the little version of you back then when you were still, trying to figure out your place in the world, what would you tell yourself?
just keep going. Because I think also, I believe in it that if I had told her something, things would not turn out the way they do, right? Everything turned out for a reason. But believe it or not, when I was 9, I made a vision board. Not on purpose.
Yeah.
I was just sitting in my room. Maybe I was 11, I forgot. 9 or 11. I was sitting in my room and I was drawing a house. And I was also drawing like a J for my husband. And my husband's name is JD.
Stop.
Yes, JT, so John. Yes, I couldn't believe it. My daughter's name is an M. My daughter starts with an M. And I had like a girl and a boy, which I have a girl or a boy. I think even the couch is the same that we have. Like literally everything. Like American house, kind of house style. All of it. And I went back to Germany with my husband and with my 2 kids. I think I had Mia. And I was pregnant with my son. And we were sitting there and I go through my things. And I open this box and I see it. And I'm like, I was so shocked. And JT, like my husband was like, oh my goodness. Like it was like, that was my life. So actually...
Yeah, little Sisi knew.
Yes.
She already knew.
So do your vision boards.
Seriously. I'm almost 40, but I'll do it.
I do it.
Never too late to start.
Or just, speak it out loud.
Yeah.
I believe in speaking things out loud.
I do. I agree.
At some point, somebody listens. Just do it enough.
Whether it's you or...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to listen.
Oh, I love that so much. That's so powerful. What is the message that, like, just to any of the women that would be listening now, like, what's one thing you hope to instill into other women? With your own story and your journey and who you are now and where you see yourself going, what is the one thing you want to instill in other women?
So I think in a world that we live in right now, where like social media and all this stuff, I know everybody says that, but I think it comes down to your core values, like what you truly believe. And I would maybe highly recommend to every woman to sit down and write down your values, maybe 5. It can be faith, it can be family, it can be honesty, standing up for yourself, like certain values you have. Write them down and live by them. Mm-hmm. And if you run a business, make the same values copy in your business, because you could have a business if family is everything for you. You can have like a reward program where you really focus on clients, mm-hmm. where you like have this client relationship because you like love relationships. If it's faith related, if it is authentic, like be like very authentic with your brand, show them the process, how you do it, like all those things. Because I think in a world where we live in, where everything changes all of a sudden, like today, everyone is like, no, you have to be tough, you have to be raw, you have to do all of this, which I a little bit believe in. I think you should always work hard to become better. But today it's this, and we believe in it because if you hear it enough and you see it enough and you know it yourself and you scroll and you every single day you start believing it.
Yeah, you
live by that. And then another time everyone is soft and everyone is like, no, you should do this. You be more soft and it's okay and you don't have to do anything. You just have to meditate or whatever. Whatever it is. I'm not judging either one, but I think you can take from both things. Both is great, but if you get confused, you can narrow it down to your core values and really sit down.
Who I want to be.
And who I want to be, who am I? Yeah. And also don't make decisions too fast. If somebody says something bad to you or something good to you, maybe try to make it a habit where you say, let me think about it. I tell you tomorrow. I get back to you tomorrow, because not everything needs a reaction that moment.
Yeah. Sitting on big decisions, mm-hmm. That's really smart.
Yeah.
I love that.
And boundaries.
Where can people find you if they want to learn more about you? If they want to learn more, like if they want to read your book, where can they find you?
So the book is actually, they can find it anywhere, like in Barnes & Nobles, Amazon, everywhere. If you want to find me personally on Instagram, it's sisi.sur, but it's spelled sisi.sur. And the website, shopsiham.com. And we have an amazing sports line, athleisure wear.
Oh, I need to get in there. Yeah, check that out.
That's the best.
And maybe it'll motivate me to get back in the gym.
Oh, I'm gonna take you to the gym.
I was. I didn't do a lot, but I did a little. That's a start. Because it's been...
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. You should start a little.
Yeah.
Because
I don't.
you need room to become better. You cannot do all of it in the beginning.
Exactly.
Hello.
And then you can't walk for 5 days when you do that.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
anyway, okay. Well, thank you so much for coming on
Thank
today
you
and
so much
sharing
for
your
having
story.
me.
I'm so inspired by it. I'm so excited to read your book.
Thank
Again,
you.
you can find her book, Burn Beautiful, just about anywhere. And you can find her on Instagram. You can find her in all of her links. Do you have all your links on your Instagram?
I mean, I have the website.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
You can
it
find
is
her
the link.
website on her
Yeah.
Instagram. But again, thank you so much. And for
You're so
anyone who's
welcome.
listening, go follow her, like her,
Yes.
subscribe, all the things. And you will be
Thank
seeing
you.
her on my page as well too. But thank you so much
Thank
for
you
coming
so
today.
much, Ashley. Mwah.